Mick, we've just announced Gary Haverin as the club's new permanent first-team boss, and as part of that, you're stepping up to assistant manager. How pleased are you to form part of this new management team?
Yeah, I'm really pleased. It's an honour to be asked to fulfil the position at the club. I've obviously been here a long time, and for a large part of that, we're close with Gaz. And when he asked me to support him in the role, it was kind of a no-brainer for me. It didn't have much thinking to do. We know what we get from each other, and we have a good relationship. So yeah, I'm happy to support him, and obviously say it's been here a long time, so I'm happy to do anything for the club.
Gary asking you to step forward and step up into that role obviously shows a lot of trust in you, and I suppose, as you say, your relationship with him played a key part in you wanting to stay here and wanting to fulfil that role.
Yeah, like as I said, me and Gaz have worked closely now for a large part of 7 years at the club, and particularly over the last year, when Gaz has had to step up and take the manager job, we've probably made more important decisions together, and that relationship's just grown stronger. So again, once he asked me to support him, it was a no-brainer. We know what we get from each other, and we know what we can expect from each other.
And the same with the squad. There's, I suppose, a core of a squad that's been there for a reasonable length of time, and as you say, you've probably been there for at least as long, if not longer, than most of them. That relationship with the players, maybe the trust of the players, was that another key factor in you wanting to take that role?
Yeah, again, I think I have a good, strong relationship with the group, both coaching staff and players and everyone around the club. And over the past 7 years, we've been a large part of success at the club, and I think we know what the environment is required to achieve success and that culture. And it's just about sort of improving those standards and trying to improve them and trying to get better and better.
Yeah, and since you came to the club, Tiernan Lynch obviously brought you here. A lot of things have changed within the club, but within the landscape of the Irish League as well. You've got a lot of experience within the league and know-how. Is that something you feel is important to the role as well?
Yeah, like as I said before, I've been here over the last 7 years and picked up a lot from different managers, Nathan and Tiernan and Seamus and stuff like that. And it's just bringing different parts of those environments and those cultures of the past that have been successful, and just trying to improve on those 1% and just try and get better and better and try and compete at the top.
And what will the role look like for you going forward, maybe in comparison to what you were doing in the backroom staff previously?
Day-to-day roles and responsibilities probably don't change an awful lot. I don't come from a traditional coaching background. My background is performance and medical, and it's still ultimately my main responsibility to make sure the squad is as fit as possible and as healthy as possible, so that we can carry the game plans of the coaching staff, and then to the side of that, help support Gaz in some important decisions.
And as I said, you've seen a lot of change within the club and within the Irish League. More full-time teams, I suppose, means that we are looking for those extra 1% and 2% to try to be successful and try to keep ourselves at the right end of the table and challenging for silverware. Is that something you relish, trying to look for those opportunities and look for those little ways to improve?
Yeah, it's something it can always be improved. I don't think you ever finish that journey of being the best you can be. There's always something you can improve on, and whether that's from the sports science department or the coaching department, we can always improve. And with more teams now going full time and getting investment, it's up to us to keep trying to improve our standards and see what we can do to push on.
And so much of the season still to play for as well. Do you hope that now we have this clarity as a club, and that the players have the clarity that'll help us to maintain standards and try to drive things forward?
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I don't think the group has felt the unsettledness of not having a manager. I think Gary's handled that period really, really well, and we have a strong group and a strong mentality that we just continue to do our jobs day in, day out, regardless of the background noise and things like that. But this certainly helps sort of allow players to see where they are going forward, and as a group now we can push on and just try and gain as much momentum as we can now to the end of the season.
And just finally, being in and around the squad, maybe in like Europe and as well as the league, there seems to be a real tight-knit group within the coaches. There's obviously Gary and yourself, but Keith O'Hara and Alan Manus and Jeff Hughes and others in and around there as well, Mark the analyst and different people. It seems a very tight-knit group that you're part of.
Yeah, as from a coaching staff, we're really tight and everyone knows their roles and responsibilities. And then as a player group, they're really, really tight, and it's a good place to be. It's a good environment. I think everyone enjoys coming into work, and that's the main part. If we have a happy group, we're ultimately going to be successful and just keep pushing on.
Mick, thank you. We really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks.